So at this point of time, can I take nature as my own brain and all these gods exist within me, but they cannot come into my nature yet until the ways is made clear for them by others? Is it a valid imagery?
Brain,
Nature being my own brain, my own mind, or whatever.
yeah, well, brain is a very specific location, yes. Brain is one of the instruments, physical instruments of the mind.
Right. I meant mind, yes, or
Mind,
whatever.
yes, true. Yes, of course, absolutely, absolutely. These are the powers of your own universal mind, which you did not fully yet engage. Yeah, only partially. Here and there, in time, you were engaging them, and in those moments, you were brilliant and the best. But then you fell back from them and became something more ordinary, and then you again engaged them, and again you became bright. So this way of engaging with the higher powers or universal powers of our own mind, let us say mind, yeah, or our own higher nature. Mind is heaven, actually, according to the Veda. Heaven is mind. The powers of heaven, we become something else. We are growing in consciousness here, in manifestation. They come and they help. Whom do they help? They help the soul, the flame within the heart, to grow. So the more they come, the more Agni can grow and occupy more and more space in our mental and vital being. Yeah? So we become more and more capable of receiving higher force, so to say. And by that transformation, we build up the instruments of knowledge here. We become more and more, how to say, receptive of the higher force. And that is the evolution, the evolution of being. We can see how we evolve. We acquire higher and higher capacity in time. It's because of this process. Agni is this engine of evolution, Purohita, put in front. He is the leader of our journey, and he is the journey.
Why I ask Vladimir is because every time these hymns mention nature, I tend to look at the nature as a subjective thing rather than an objective thing. So being subjective, it is all actually in my own mind. And I sense that all these images can be taken in their subjective form and understood little differently.
Absolutely. Subjective objective is just a mental view, yes? Kind of, we are objectivizing, that means they exist somewhere objectively there. But when we come to them and identify with them, they become subjective. So
Right.
through identity, we realize that they were never only objective. So it's just a matter of explaining this to ourselves. To orient our consciousness, because it is always, manas has this capacity to focus consciousness on any object of sense. So by focusing on this, we forget about that. Yeah? But then we come to that and say, oh, look, it's here, so it must be objective. Because I don't remember it being there before when I was subjectively feeling this. So that was not there. So, and still it is there. If it is there, then it must be objective. So it's a mental operation which is actually refocusing our consciousness on different moments in time, or different subjects or different images of things, or even different objects of sense, if you will, so to say. Objects, again, or wanted to avoid this word. But because we are focusing it, we believe that the world exists objectively. This is how we explain to ourselves this phenomena, that we can focus on different subjects. I think so, at least. If you have some other idea, please share. It would be interesting to hear.
No, I was thinking, extending this thought, that just as we touch external objects, or we feel them, or we see them, we should be at some point of time be able to use the powers of the senses to touch subjective objects. Right now, I'm getting confused. We have to be able to touch these or see these gods. Otherwise, nothing is really accomplished. Uh, Touch them with our senses. That was my thought process.
Yeah, we need to understand one thing about the gods of the Veda. These are universal powers of the divine. Yeah, they are all the divine, one divine. Every one of them has a particular functionality in this unfolding or manifestation. And because of that functionality, we gave them names which are actually reflecting that function. Yeah? If we look closer, we will see that Agni, Agre Nayati iti Agni, says Yaska. So the Agni is the one which leads forward, maybe most probably from root Aj, yeah, to move forward from here, Aja, the driver forward. This is the driving force, the engine of our evolution. Yeah? There is something within this manifestation which is pushing forward for betterment, for constant betterment. And that is the power of will, of the divine will, Agni. And it is within the name. Yeah? And then if you look at the Indra, Idandra iti Indra, as Aitareya would explain, the one who splits this, who creates the crack, who enters with his lightning, with his force of the truth, into the midst of the deepest darkness. Yeah? He is the power of the intuitive mind, of who illumines the whole cave of our darkness. And suddenly we see the true images of the truth, which are hidden in the darkness. It is his functionality. So these two, Agni, who is driving forward, and Indra, who is responding to Agni from above with his cleaving force, they have to join. And once they join, the sacrifice is done. There are hymns to Indragni, Indra and Agni together, which are very powerful because they combine heaven and earth. Indra represents heaven, heavenly power of truth, of Vishnu, and Agni is the son of Rudra, who is rising from below. And these two divine forces have to join their force. And then we have the result of the sacrifice. Transformation is taking place. That's why most probably the first deity they mentioned here is Indra, because Indra is the one wanted by Agni for the fulfillment of the sacrifice.
Just to mention, Vladimir, I've been studying this hymn for the last 5 years, this one and the next one. And I noticed that the gods are mentioned in a particular sequence.
Yeah.
In Indra, then I don't know, Vishnu, and maybe this is the sequence in which they are supposed to arrive, or maybe not. But whatever it is, I noticed the sequence in all of them.
Yes, yes. Sequence is important because of the importance of the event, of the sacrifice, they're important. Vishnu is supporting Indra's action. Vishnu will be behind. That's why Vishnu is next. Vishnu is the background of Indra's action, or the very energy which Indra directs towards the action. Yeah? It is that vast overmental realm which Indra narrows down to his lightning. With his Vajra, he strikes through the ceiling. As Ayasya Rishi invokes Indra to break the ceiling, and the Navagva Rishis become Dashagva. They break to the 10th level of to the Svar world. So behind Indra, there is vasta Vishnu. Sri Aurobindo describes this all in The Secret of the Veda, by the way. If he would not tell us this, we would know nothing about it. We would just roam in the dark. But since he already pointed us where we have to look for the truth, we can understand that Vishnu is the major Godhead. Indra is the action of Vishnu towards the transformation. The same, Rudra is the major Godhead, Shiva, but Agni is the narrowed or focused action of Rudra. So these two focused actions, Indra and Agni, are the most popular gods in the Veda. And somewhere even Sri Aurobindo says that we should not be kind of misled by this idea that Vishnu and Rudra have only few hymns in the Veda. They are still the major godheads. And because their actions are Indra and Agni. So rishis are dealing with their actions rather than with the godheads themselves standing behind them. Because
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Because we arrive at them through these actions. We can't arrive at Vishnu without Indra bringing that illuminating Vajra into action. And notice Indra has Vajra and Vishnu has Vajra. Interesting, yeah? Same Vajra, which is the most powerful weapon of Vishnu. And Rudra has this Trishula, interestingly. I never thought of why Trishula, Agni and Trishula, triple flame, It's an action. It's that action of Rudra which makes everything possible. The triple flame. And Vajra is the one lightning.
So Vladimir, then where is Brahma?
Yes, we are coming to Brahma slowly. You're not in a hurry. Yes, Brahma is Brahmanaspati. Interestingly, Sri Aurobindo gives this, you will find it in The Secret of the, maybe I should find a quote, you will enjoy that quotation, where he explains that Brahman is rising from the heart, in between heaven and earth, the word which shapes the rising of flame, the drive, the energy, the divine energy is rising towards heaven, but cannot reach heaven without being formed intentionally by the word. And there Brihaspati comes from the depth of the heart. He takes the flame of Agni and directs it with his word intention towards heaven. And then the combination of three takes place. So Shiva and Vishnu, or Rudra and Vishnu can be combined only when there is the word rising from the heart, Brahman. From here, Brahmana, Brahmin, all these words, Brahmanaspati. Brahman is the word rising from the heart, the intention, which is forming the flame, the energy towards heaven, that they can combine. It is with this intention word, and Brahmanaspati has all the rishis as his children, his sons. Rishis are nothing but the formulation of that intention, picking up the energy of which is rising from below of Rudra and forming it into the weapon or into the means by which they can combine the divinity from below and the divinity from above. This is the word. It makes it possible.
So the transformation is Brahman.
Transformation, well,
from earth to heaven. He's in the
Brahman
midst.
is effectuating that transformation, yes. Making it faster, making it more effective. In some way, we can even think when human beings got this capacity of free will, and the word, the speech. Mother speaks about this, that the capacity of the word is a recent achievement, or we acquired it recently in the evolution of consciousness. So that's why we cannot stop talking, because we enjoy the very talking. This capacity created in us the possibility of being free to choose where to go, what to do. So, and that capacity is needed for nature to speed up the evolution. Human beings are a part of nature which will speed up the evolution of nature by that very capacity of free choice, by choosing the divine, of course. Some of us choose something else, but it's temporarily. We go away from the divine, we go into the darkness. It is our choice. We have a free choice to go wherever we want. But then we realize that it was a wrong choice, so we choose the right one and go back. And that is speeding immensely evolution up. You know? Nature is using this as a device. Human beings are the device to speed up the evolution of consciousness in nature. And in that sense, Brahmanaspati is the force. The intention can be formulated in the word, and the word will form and direct consciousness and energy in the chosen direction. Not where nature wants to go, everywhere, but in a particular direction, for particular purpose. Yes? Makes sense? So in that sense, of course, Brahmanaspati, Brahman, the power of the word is our major power, and the major power of all Indian tradition. Rishis, they brought to us the Veda. Yeah? Veda is this formation of consciousness in the word, which now, even today, allows us to formulate, to form our inner aspiration in the way that it gets some widening of its scope, receiving some light. So it is through the word. Can you imagine we would not have this word? Had no idea that these things exist. We would eat, sleep, and go ahead with whatever we have, yes? Of course, nature would do its work, but it will take billions of years. So she decided to create the human beings, conscious, choosing their own choices, making their own choices, right choices and wrong choices, of course. And the rishis bring right choices of the group soul to us, that we may dwell on them, tune into them, and grow in consciousness. This is Brahman. Raivid, he finds the Rai. Rai is that riches, the divine riches. Later, you will see these three in the same manner expressed in the Gita and in the Upanishads, by the way. In the Gita, we have karma yoga, the effort, the flame, the kindling of the fire, the effort, the growth, the offering karma yoga. Then we have jnana yoga, the heaven, karma yoga, earth, jnana yoga, heaven, realization of unborn self, and bhakti yoga. That is the heart, that very expression of love, of connection of heaven and earth into one being, seeing the divine everywhere in all the forms. And worshiping him not for the sake of him becoming worshipped, but out of sheer delight. Cannot stop worshiping him because the delight is beaming out of the heart. Not because you want something from him. I will worship you and you give me something. Not this type. It's more karma yogic type. But bhakti yogic type, it's more like, like Kabir or, Mirabai. We had a very good presentation on Kabir where he quoted that I write to you the letters as if you are a faraway friend, but you are here within my heart. So this is the recognition of, of the presence of the divine and the foolishness of the mind, which is writing the letter. But all these elements are still here and they create this beautiful manifestation. Okay, I will stop here for today. If you have something to say, to share, please go ahead. We will continue next time. No? Okay. And I will close with mantra. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Maya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.